By now, everyone is surely familiar with Elon Musk and his ambitious idea of colonizing Mars. This is an incredibly daring project, often deemed unrealistic in our time. But why is it considered risky and unrealistic? Can humans do it? These are the questions we will explore today. Welcome back to The Pace of Space, and today we'll delve into the process of colonizing Mars. Before discussing living on Mars, we need to understand the process and mechanism of colonization for one simple reason. Settling on Mars is, in essence, an act of colonization. At its core, colonization involves traveling to a new land, determining whether it is habitable, and preparing for a large-scale migration to claim and settle it. However, settlement alone is not enough. The colony must develop self-sufficiency to avoid dependency on its homeland. Over time, the settlers must expand, cultivate the land, and establish trade with the motherland, fostering prosperity in the long run. To accomplish this, a colony typically follows these specific steps. Step 1. Identification and exploration. The first step is finding a suitable location for colonization. Think of Christopher Columbus accidentally discovering a new land while searching for India in the Atlantic. Once a new land is found, the next task is to determine its position on the map and prepare for landing. After landing, we must assess whether the location is viable for habitation and long-term survival. This includes evaluating water sources, vegetation, and climate suitability. No one wants to turn the Sahara Desert into a new home. It would require too much effort and resources. Therefore, identifying a place that can be feasibly transformed is crucial. Once we confirm that the new land can support life and be modified for settlement, we must report back to the motherland to proceed to the next step. Step 2. Passive supply phase. After exploring and ensuring that the island is habitable, the next step is survival. Colonists start primitively by building small huts, gathering in communities, and clearing land for cultivation. At this stage, as self-sufficiency is not yet achieved, settlers rely on supplies from the mainland while adapting to their new environment. However, they also utilize local resources to sustain themselves. They begin farming. Even though the initial yield is low, it marks the first step in colonizing the island. Farming might be difficult at first, but once a stable agricultural system is established, the colony can begin to sustain itself. When food production is sufficient, reliance on supply shipments ceases, leading to the next stage. Step 3. Self-sufficiency. Achieving self-sufficiency is not particularly difficult. It simply requires time. Once a settlement is independent, it begins to expand its territory and economy. With economic and social growth comes the need for governance. At this point, the colony may declare independence or continue operating under the motherland's jurisdiction. Regardless of the outcome, this marks the maturation of a community, setting the stage for rapid development. Step 4. Resource extraction and economic growth. At this stage, the autonomous colony is fully established and capable of extracting resources for trade. It can now export goods to the motherland, creating a trade system that fuels economic growth. The exported goods may include locally produced items or unique resources found exclusively in this new land, such as oil, rare minerals, or other materials absent in the homeland. The colonization process is complete at this point. The island is now inhabited, and life will continue to evolve naturally. But so far, we've only discussed colonization on Earth. How does colonizing Mars differ? As mentioned earlier, the first step is finding a suitable place for colonization, determining whether it can support life and if its transformation is feasible. Fortunately, this phase has already been completed. According to NASA's announcement on September 28, 2015, there is evidence of liquid water on Mars's surface. Additionally, over 5 million cubic kilometers of ice have been discovered at Mars's northern pole, enough to cover the entire planet with a 35-meter-deep ocean. With the biggest challenge, water, partially solved, the only thing left is finding an efficient way to travel to Mars. Luckily, Elon Musk has taken care of that. With step 1 complete, we move on to step 2. Passive supply phase. Mars has an almost non-existent atmosphere, meaning there is no breathable oxygen, and the sun's radiation is deadly for prolonged exposure. The only way to live on Mars is within sealed domes filled with synthesized oxygen. As explained in the colonization steps earlier, this stage relies heavily on imported supplies from Earth. However, depending on supply shipments for too long is impractical. The journey from Earth to Mars is treacherous, and a single failure could leave the Mars colony starving. Therefore, astronauts must quickly establish a self-sustaining food supply. One example of this concept can be seen in Ridley Scott's film The Martian, where the protagonist cultivates potatoes in a makeshift greenhouse to survive. Such closed, self-sustaining greenhouses can be built on Mars, provided modified and enriched with nutrients. Over time, these farms will become the primary food source for astronauts, allowing them to gradually achieve self-sufficiency. To truly become self-sufficient, Mars needs more than just potatoes. Achieving this will take persistence and significant time. During this phase, humans will work on improving Mars's surface to facilitate agriculture. Additionally, restoring a stable atmosphere is essential for long-term survival. This will be a lengthy process, but not an impossible one. Once the Martian soil and atmosphere are sufficiently transformed, reliance on Earth's supplies will end. Livestock could be transported to Mars to reproduce and provide a sustainable food source. With vast water reserves, if Mars were to be warmed in the same way Earth is currently experiencing climate change, oceans might one day form on the red planet. Step 4. Resource extraction and economic growth. At this stage, Mars would have evolved into a second Earth, complete with oceans, forests, and a stable atmosphere. Martian-born humans would expand the population while extracting valuable resources from the planet. As Earth's mineral resources dwindle, Mars would become a new frontier for humanity. The planet could export minerals to Earth, including rare materials that are expensive or difficult to produce on our home planet, such as nitrogen, ammonia, and unique Martian compounds with groundbreaking applications. Economic growth comes with societal development. Mars may eventually form nations with independent governments, signifying humanity's first step toward a higher level of civilization. Transforming Mars would be humanity's first step toward achieving a Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale. We've made a video explaining this concept. Check the comment section for the link. This is a monumental leap forward for humanity, laying the foundation for expansion beyond Mars and into harsher planets like Venus. One day, harnessing the sun's full energy might become feasible, marking the pinnacle of a Type 2 civilization. Of course, this remains theoretical for now, just blueprints and calculations. We have yet to face the true challenges, such as solar radiation, Martian dust, economic sustainability during the passive phase, and the immense time required to terraform Mars. But from once dreaming of gods in the sky to exploring the cosmos, humans have made incredible strides. In just a century, we've shrunk supercomputers into smartphones, optimized rocket technology, and accomplished numerous marvels. So reaching Mars within this century? Not impossible. That was the process of colonizing Mars, the path toward humanity's transition to a Type 2 civilization. Do you believe humans will reach Mars within this century? I do. With what we've achieved over the past decades, nothing is out of reach. Even hitting that subscribe button is possible, right? So, believe in the future and our foothold on Mars. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode of our cosmic journey. Peace.